The World Health Organization warns the planned shift to alert level system to balance the health and economy might be a little too premature. Local healthcare workers agree, as hospitals in Metro Manila are still overwhelmed with the surge in COVID-19 infections. Japan warns against a possible terror attack in the Philippines and 5 other ASEAN countries. And check out the highlights of this year's Met Gala. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. A new alert level system will be imposed in Metro Manila starting tomorrow, leaving some people confused as to how the system will be implemented. Meanwhile, an expert from the World Health Organization warns that this move to balance health and economy might be premature. Camille Samonte with the details.
The new alert level system will finally be piloted in Metro Manila beginning September 16 until the 30th. For this trial, NCR will be under level 4. But not everyone is familiar with the new scheme.
DCQ o MCQ, ano ba yun? Ganun pa rin ba yun? Paliwanag na lang nila ng ano kung ano ba yung, limbawa yung ano ba yung level 4 na yun.
Kaming mga nagtitinda, sobra kaming nalilito dahil ito ang pinagkakakitaan namin eh.
The new system is meant to provide a better balance between health and economy, even providing perks for the fully vaccinated. While it's beneficial, this salon still sees the move affecting profit.
Kaya yung iba, hindi na namin tinatanong kung full vaccine ba kayo or ano, ganun. Basta ang sinasabi lang namin is distance o kaya magsuot ng face mask.
For a business group, it's high time to do away with quarantine measures.
Pag walang makain yan, lalabas din, magse-service din sa ano, mas delikado pa eh.
San Juan Mayor Francis Zamora echoes this. He says the new strategy was approved with forethought.
And if you will notice, mas malaki yung capacity sa outdoors at 30%, yung indoors naman 10% lamang at kinakailangan fully vaccinated pa. So meron ng mga safeguards kumbaga no, na nakaset up po rito.
Octa Research meanwhile said the new system would significantly affect their projections moving forward.
This is a creative way to try to get the economy moving kasi, you know, at least we have vaccinated people and preliminary data shows na vaccinated people have a much lower risk of contracting severe COVID.
For the World Health Organization, the country should be cautious in opening the economy.
We have significant population coverage within NCR. I believe it's about 60% now. But this is not adequate at this point to relax our quarantine positions.
For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
Alert Level 4 is the second strictest measure in the 5-level system. This means that areas under this level have high or increasing number of cases, and the same goes for hospital utilization rate. Because of this, granular lockdowns may be implemented as necessary. Under Level 4, inter- and intrazonal travel will be allowed. But pregnant women, minors, senior citizens, and those who are immunocompromised will not be allowed to go out. Outdoor exercise is also allowed, but confined only to the area of residence. Meanwhile, outdoor dining, religious services, and personal care services will be allowed to operate at 30% capacity, regardless of vaccination status. But for indoor venues that operate at 10% capacity, these are reserved only for the fully vaccinated. Workers in these establishments have to be fully vaccinated as well. The Interior Department says the new alert level system is similar to general community quarantine with heightened restrictions. Speaking to One News, Interior Secretary Eduardo Año said that they will still consult with LGU heads regarding the shift. But he explained that generally, the new quarantine system will be similar to GCQ with heightened restrictions, with some perks for vaccinated individuals in some close contact areas.
The alert level 4 is almost similar to GCQ with higher restrictions. One good thing here in the new alert system, all economic activities, as long as you're not in the negative list, will be allowed to operate even up to 100% seating capacity for workforce.
Meanwhile, in an interview with The Big Story, NTF Special Advisor Dr. Ted Herbosa likened the new quarantine status to storm signals. However, he said the rest of the country will continue to use the usual quarantine categories of GCQ, MECQ, and ECQ.
So the alert level system is something like a typhoon signal.
Yes, sir.
You know, when you have a typhoon signal number 3, we all know what to do. You know, if we evacuate higher places, you know, there will be a strong rain and wind or flood. So ganun din yung alert level. It's a system wherein it will allow some areas to continue with economic activity while people are warned what is the level of the viral transmission at that particular locality.
More and more healthcare workers are leaving public hospitals, which are still getting overwhelmed. That's why some of these hospitals think easing restrictions might not be the best move at this time. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro gives us the front seat to the story.
Our healthcare system might not have reached 100% yet, but our local hospitals are already at their limit. The biggest problems they face is not the shortage of COVID beds, but the lack of healthcare workers that will man them. The Philippine General Hospital has issued a blanket call for help from all civic-minded doctors and medical personnel to beef up the hospital's staff.
I'm calling general practitioners. The salary is nothing compared to what you'll probably be earning in your private practice, but consider this like charity work.
For decades, the country's premier public hospital was the first choice of many new med school graduates. But more than a year into the pandemic, PGH is now having difficulty sourcing doctors. 11 doctors have already left PGH with no replacements in sight. The hospital now has 400 COVID patients with another 200 waiting for a bed. They're even willing to hire underboard doctors or new medical school graduates as well as unlicensed nurses and midwives. The Santa Ana Hospital in Manila also has a hard time hiring doctors.
Kahit gusto namin mag-hire, hirap din mag-apply. Eh kasi nga, because of the COVID.
Ano po, natatakot po ba?
Siguro, oo.
Santa Ana currently has 114 COVID-19 patients. They're already at 76% capacity or high risk. To make things worse, more and more of their healthcare workers have gotten sick with COVID.
There are 20 healthcare workers who are positive for COVID. So, nalagasan na kami.
Dr. Solis said they need at least 30 more doctors to properly cater their available beds. NCR will shift to granular or targeted lockdowns, which government hopes would help decongest hospitals. But health experts fear the loosened restrictions will have an opposite effect. I'm Jacob Lazaro and we are One News.
The Defense Department says it's now verifying the recent terrorism advisory issued by the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Earlier, the Japanese embassy in Manila confirmed that the Japanese government was tipped off regarding a possible terror attack in the Philippines, as well as 6 other Southeast Asian countries. In a statement, the Defense Department said it takes cognizance of the advisory and will immediately validate the claims made therein. And the agency added that the DND and the AFP have been on heightened alert for terrorist activities ever since the Marawi Rebellion. Meanwhile, the AFP says it is still gathering reports to determine its next move. Spokesperson Ramon Gala assures the public that government troops are on top of the situation and can handle potential attacks.
So right now, what we are doing is we are continuously gathering reports. Although this report that the Japanese government released is not in our information yet, but we constantly validate reports. And we constantly talk to other agencies in order to validate reports. All reports that concern security matters, especially terror, we look into it and validate. And we will also be reaching out to other agencies about it. This is really a concern. Although right now our security threat level is moderate, such reports we will give importance also and look into it also.
category is American Eleganza Extravaganza. And the attendees of this year's Met Gala definitely understood the assignment. Here's the story.
After a 2-year hiatus, the Met Gala is back with the theme In America, a lexicon of fashion. Attendees had to embody American independence. Among the night's best dressed, Billie Eilish, who exchanged her trademark baggy clothes for a Marilyn Monroe-inspired peach gown. Lil Nas X dazzled with a gold suit of armor. He eventually took it off to reveal his crystal-inspired bodysuit. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, meanwhile, stayed woke. AOC had Tax the Rich written in red across the back of her white gown. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, or Bennifer, were also head-turners. Netizens went gaga over their now viral masked kiss. As for Kim Kardashian, it's not about red, white, and blue. Kim dressed up entirely in black, including her face. The Met Gala is typically held on the first Monday of May, but had to be postponed. The invitation-only event seeks to raise funds for the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. Nick Garcia, We Are One News.
Here are the stories to watch out for later today. Justice Secretary Minardo Guevara confirms that he has issued an immigration lookout bulletin order against former presidential economic advisor Michael Yang. It's the Transportation Department and Testa's turn to defend their proposed 2022 budget before the lower house. And the Business World one-on-one interview series continues. Today's featured tycoon, Mond Nissen President Betty Ang. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again later at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.